Yo, this is Quentin Moore chilling in the cigar lounge.
This is the Captain, Hobo King 82. Hi, guys! Yo, this is MJ from Hot Garbage Cigar Club, and you're watching Cigar Lounge and Podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's your local hero back again, Cigar Lounge and Podcast, here with a guest. If y'all haven't, let me show y'all something. If y'all haven't had this man cigar, let me tell you something. This is one of my favorites right here. This Deli Corona Pink Series. I really like these. If y'all haven't had these man cigars, man, what are you doing with your life, right? Yeah. What are y'all doing, man? Well, here my man's from Emami Cigars. Let's get it, man. Let's talk about. First of all, this is what always since I found out that y'all was based in Lawrence. Why are you based in Lawrence? Like, this is not like most people. They ain't somewhere warm. They ain't like Tampa. They like, oh, let's do something in Cali, Texas.
Oh, well, first off, thank you for having me on, and thank you everyone who is going to be listening on this, watching this. So I appreciate you for thinking of me. But yeah, it's kind of a long story. All my stories are long stories, by the way, bro. So I will try to make it as sweet and short as possible, so that way the viewers don't get bored out of their mind. So, I came to the U.S. I'm originally from Iran. So I came to the U.S. in 91. And when I came here, I was in Chicago. I went to Chicago. I went to Michigan. And then I came to Lawrence. I lived in Lawrence for a few years. And then I went to Philadelphia. And then from Philadelphia, I lived there for like a few years. Then I went back home. And then years later, I ended up back in Lawrence in 2002. So in 2002, when I came back, I'm a little bit more of a younger adult. So I started my career and just stuck it out here because of just jobs, and just got into businesses and business after this, business after that. So I kind of got stuck because of business. And cigars was not my first business. This is my fourth business that I have now. So my other ones kind of got me stuck here. And then I said, you know what? I wanted to have a cigar business. Why not? I'm here. I got my other things going on. Might as well start a cigar business here. So yeah, that's how it ended up being in Lawrence, Kansas. Now, do I want to be in Lawrence, Kansas and having a cigar company, Brad? Probably not. I'd rather be in Miami right now.
I'm like, man, Tampa or something.
Something. Now, you never know. We might actually relocate there too. There's possibilities for us to take the cigar headquarters over there.
Don't get me wrong. If y'all in there, Lawrence ain't a bad place. It's just fucking cold.
It's too cold. It is too cold. Yeah, it is very cold, bro.
So how did you get into cigars?
Oh man, cigars. So I started getting into, my first cigar. I don't know if you remember. When was your first time that you ever smoked a cigar? When was your first time?
My first cigar, Romeo and Juliet, was my first one.
That's a good one for your first cigar.
2007, 2008.
How old were you?
25, 26.
Okay, so my first cigar was a Philly, which is not even considered a nice premium cigar.
See, I ain't count those. Because everybody was smoking Black and Miles. I didn't count those.
My first one was a Philly, and I definitely inhaled. And I think I was like 17 years old, something like that. And it was not a good experience. So after that, I was like, I'm never going to try cigars. This is not my thing. Until, in my 20s, a friend of mine got with me and was like, dude, listen, you did it all wrong. You don't understand. Let me teach you some things. And this is a cigar guy, So he taught me some lessons, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get back into the cigar thing. So in my 20s is when I really got into the cigar thing. And by the time I was in my 30s, I was like obsessed to the point where I was I was spending a lot of money on cigars per month. And a thought came to my head, and I said, dude, I'm a business guy. I'm spending a lot of freaking money on this. And why didn't I start my own cigar business? How is that going to happen? So that's really where the thought process came from. is just loving it so much, spending so much money, and saying, I need to invest it in my own company, and started just learning everything that I could about the business. And that was like, by the time I was like 35, 36, that's when I got real serious about it and really started researching how to bring the company together. And in 2022 is when I launched the company.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because I'm glad you cleared that up with launch, because we was in our head, we're like, why the fuck was my? But yeah, so and I think everybody mostly, like, unless you like born in like a cigar making region, I think like the 20s was when you really, like, everybody smoked like the bullshit cigars in high school.
Yeah.
And you came back to it later on, and you was like, okay, now I can get into it, because yeah. So I didn't
Oh,
count. I didn't count the Phillies and all that. I was like, no, the first real cigar I had.
well, the Phillies might have been a thing because, back then it wasn't just Phillies that you were smoking. There was something else in it too. So
Hey,
that was like what I do.
as we thought we was cool smokers and stuff too. He's like, yeah,
Yeah, man. Yeah, of course.
All right, so what's your
We had
favorite?
those days too. So, but
So you
no,
got your
yeah.
cigar.
Premium cigars, once I really discovered the true meaning of a premium cigar and how to like understand how to smoke it and enjoy it, oh man, it was game over. It was the best thing.
Oh
Some
yeah.
people get into wine and things like that, and whiskeys, and some people just love cigars.
And that brings me to my next question. What do you like to pair your cigar with?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. It just depends on my mood and the different type of cigar. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
shoot, I can go with like a nice Connecticut, Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, nice blend that I have, and I could go with like a double espresso in the morning with that.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can even do the same thing sometimes, with like a old fashioned. It just depends on my mood and the type of tobacco and the blend that it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's all based on your palate. So, I mean, that might work for me, but it might not work for you, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've really been in the old fashions as of late. My buddy really got us in the old fashioned. So me and my
You got
brother
to
been doing old fashioned
try,
like crazy.
definitely try the Imami Diamond Series Toro. It's the Habano.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good one. That's my go-to usually if I want to do it with an old fashioned, because it has some spice to it that kind of contrasts the spice of the old fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be a good one for you.
Okay. Okay. I see. Hey, I was about to ask that. So let's take your cigar out of it. What is your favorite cigar to enjoy outside of yours? Like, what do you go
So
crazy
man, it's so hard to say just one. There's so many. I love so many different cigars, bro. It's not all about Imami cigars. Let me tell you this. I still to this day try to enjoy as many cigars from other people that I can, because you learn, you get different palate notes that you're like, man, I gotta blend this in my cigars. So I appreciate everybody's. Yeah, but I will tell you a few of them. One is very hard to get, but if I can ever get myself a Behiki 56, a true Behiki 56, it's a Cohiba, then that would be my ultimate favorite. But
with?
it's very hard to come by. It's very hard to come by. One is Cuban, so you can't have them around here. Uh, and there's a lot of knockoffs. But
Okay.
that will be probably on top three. Another one is La Polina Goldies.
Oh yeah, I like those.
I like the La Polina Goldies with the little pigtail.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice, smooth. It's a very Cuban-esque cigar. There's also another one. The group the Maestros worked with Monte Cristo at one point, and they
Mm-hmm.
came out with this very rare special. Like, I think they only did like 1,000 boxes or something. And that was one of the best cigars. I mean, I everywhere I went, I was asking, "Do you have any? Do you have any?" I wanted that one. So those are three.
Three good ones. Three good ones. Those three really good ones. Now, I don't want to put you on the spot. We ask everybody this. Two questions we asked everybody. The first question: where is the name of and the location of your favorite lounge, the one you just love going to?
Oh man. So this is one. I gotta name one.
One.
The location and the name.
Yep.
Oh man, there's gonna be so many pissed off people. All right. Before I say this, I love you all. But man, I really love Ash and Anvil in Gardner. It's in Gardner, Kansas. A small little place. You would never think of it, when you go there, that is going to have such a nice little place like that. It's called Ash and Anvil in Gardner, Kansas.
I'm going there probably next Wednesday. I'm gonna go check them out. I've been
Yeah,
thinking
you
about it.
should. You should. You should.
All right. Now the next question we asked: if you can go back in time, knowing what you know now, you can tell your 18-year-old self anything. What would that be? What advice would you give yourself?
At 18 years old, if I had to give myself an advice, I would say take more risks. Don't be afraid to fail. That is the biggest lesson I've learned through my life. And that would be the thing that I would tell myself at that moment is keep trying everything you want. Don't be afraid.
Okay. Now, how many stores? Do you know how many stores you in right now, currently?
Over 25, 26 maybe, different stores right now.
Mhm. Okay. I'll be seeing you be bouncing around, man. I'll be seeing you bouncing.
Yeah, man. Well, right now, you remember I started the company in 2022, and I have help, but it's a lot of it has been myself growing it to this point. And now the biggest thing for us is we're going to PCA. So PCA 2025 is going to be our 10x game.
Okay.
So that's where we're going to explode all over the US.
Okay. Hey, I'm waiting for it, man. I'm waiting
Let's
for it.
go.
Any new?
Let's go. We're ready.
So how many cigars do you have in your line?
I have 16 different cigars now.
I say, damn, because every time I look, I see another one.
Yeah, man. So yeah, we started with, the history of the cigars with my company is when we started it. I mean, it was naked cigars, no bands. So we did that with 5 different cigars, got the market to kind of give us some good feedback. Then it started out with one band, then it came to one band and a ribbon. Now all the cigars have a tri-band. So you got the 2 top bands and the foot bands and boxes, all sorts of stuff. And went from 5 cigars to 16 cigars. So it's been a good expansion.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Because I like I said, every time I look at a lounge, like every lounge, like
Yeah.
has a different one, and I'm like, man, they make that too.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, like, man, they make that too. So you plan on doing any exclusive lounge stuff?
Probably, I think the vision is just to get expanded out after PCA, let that footprint set in, and then once that footprint is set out in all the different regions, then we can really decide and say, hey, who do we really want to collaborate with certain lounges to do some exclusivities with. So it'll be after PCA.
Okay. So how much pressure you feeling about PCA?
It's not about the pressure really. It's the excitement. It's kind of like, when what is waiting for you, it's like that Super Bowl game, right? You know that you already made it there, right? It's kind of like the Super Bowl. It's like a matter of how well are you going to play that game at there so you can come with a good winning. So it's the excitement that, I don't know how to describe it, but I look at it like the Super Bowl. We're going in and we're going to come out with a lot better things.
Okay. Now, where are your cigars produced at?
So our factory's in Esteli, Nicaragua. So we have some farmlands too in like Jalapa, Condega, Esteli. and some other areas, and then the factory itself is in Esteli, Nicaragua. So like 5 to 7 minutes away from like Perdomo, Nick Perdomo's factory, and some other factories. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. I mean, when you're down in Esteli and you're driving around, you go to a block, you're like, oh, hey, look, there's another one. Hey, another block. Oh, hey, here's AJ. Here's that. Here's that. So that's kind of how it is in Esteli.
Okay. Okay. How often do you go down there?
I try to go down there as much as I can. So my goal is to go there every quarter.
Okay.
Yeah. The more, the better.
So let me see. So I'm guessing that you're very integral in the part. Like you're very a part of the making of the cigar. Like you ain't just a guy to sit back and let him produce it. Like you're there.
Yeah. So the way that works is that Miguel is my guy. So there's a bunch of different guys that kind of handle different things, but Miguel is really the guy that kind of helps facilitate a lot of things out there. So I kind of let them know what tobacco I need. So that way, if we have it, if we need to go buy it, and then what type of blend I want. And then Fenor is the master blender. So he'll work with me and make sure that that's the blend I like. If I don't, we'll change it. And then, so it's very hands-on type of deal to where when it comes to that. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, yeah, if I don't like it, then there's a problem.
Yeah. Now, how do you have like a panel of people who try the cigars, or like? Because I know a lot of the makers I talked to said we got guys that we just send the cigars out and we take their word for it. You do it like that, or do you just? This is like I know this is a hit.
Every cigar that I have probably brought in, I personally have smoked about 30 to 50 of them like consecutively. Because I needed to make sure that I can stand behind it myself.
Okay.
And on top of that, I've probably had a lot more of people just trying out, giving me feedback on it, because I can't just be biased based on my palate, but I still have to like it. If I don't like it, if I can't smoke that, all the time, then I'm not going to sell it. Yeah. But I don't want it to just be all me either. So yes, I do give it to a lot of different type of my testers, I would say. And I have different ones. So I have like my mild guys, I have my medium guys, I have my full guys. And I would send it out and I just want feedback. What's the taste? What's the strength? And then I gather all that with what I have gathered for myself. And then I will make that executive decision in saying, do I want to reblend it again, or this is it?
So how many cigars don't make the cut?
Well, my master blender will be pissed off, if I have too many of them. It's like, come on, leave me alone. But there's definitely a good number. I would say there's times that I just don't like it, and if I don't, then I don't like it. I gotta redo it. So I would say about 40%.
40%. Man, that's 40%.
Yeah.
Sheesh. So are you a full body guy, medium, light? What do you?
All over the place. All over the place. I enjoy it all. It just depends on my mood, and it doesn't matter. Sometimes I'll have a full cigar in the morning. Sometimes I'll have a light cigar at night, or vice versa. I know how people say, you start light and go, fuller towards the night, or vice versa, whatever. For me, it doesn't matter. It just depends on my mood.
Okay. Because some people, I'm like that too. Like I'm like that too. I don't know. It don't really matter to me. I try to, I try to be like, okay, I'm gonna do a light, start the day off with, but now sometimes I got to asylum in the morning. I don't know. It depends on how I feel. Sometimes I might start, with a Nika Roostica. Sometimes I might start with like a number 6 from, from Rocky.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And that's the thing, it just depends on the mood. It's whatever. I tell people, don't go based on something that everybody tells you to do, because sometimes that might not work for you. That's the beautiful part about cigars, is that, your palate is going to tell you what it wants. Your chemistry, your body, your everything is going to tell you. If it doesn't, you'll put it down. You get a different thing. But if you love it, you're gonna love it.
I had a couple cigars I stomped out on the suggestion of friends.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try anything. If it's bad, I'm gonna toss it. But if it's good, I'm gonna smoke it.
Yeah.
If it's good, I'm definitely gonna smoke it. But like I said, so my brother who just went outside. I don't know what the hell he doing. Anyway, so I was in Maryland at the time, and my other co-host, he running around the city, but he back in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually mailed them out to us. And like our first impression was like, damn, he's like, where the hell you get these from? Because I've never heard of them. I never even saw them. He's like, oh, he has a cigar company here and everything. So then when I got here, the first thing I did was like, let me get some of them. Now I can willingly get them. Let me get a few of those. So man. I like it. I tell my buddies about it, man. Hopefully you do blow up at PCA so they can get some too. So I ain't got to mail them none.
Thank you, bro.
It's hard to mail. Sometimes I smoke them. I'm sorry, guys. It's hard.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, they can buy it online too. I mean, if a lot of those guys that are in different states, that can't get it at a retail shop yet, then they can buy it online. So we have emamicigars.com and we sell it all over the US as is right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we have an online store. We've had that since day one. And
I didn't know that back then. I'd have been ordering them if I'd have known that. I thought the way I was getting them was coming.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. Support the guys if you can. We love to make sure that we support the retailers too.
I'm going down the street. You know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Hey, they can buy online. I like mine instantly. I like mine in hand.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, so some retail shops, they don't carry everything. So that's the best part about online is that if there's a product that we're going to launch, any product we'll have it online for sure. Mm-hmm. So some retailers, depending on, the price point or the space or whatever it is, they might not carry all 16 different types of cigars that we have. Yeah, so online, you'll be able to get them all.
Okay. So let me ask you this. If you could smoke one of your cigars with anybody in history, past, present, whatever, who would you smoke with?
Man, I've never been asked that one. That's a good one, actually. Who would I? I would say with my grandfather. With my grandfather, he's passed away. I never got to really smoke a cigar with him. He passed away when I was younger, even before I was really into cigars. So I would say that would be a good smoke.
I agree.
Yeah, man.
See, we asked the good questions here. See,
I like it. Yeah.
Me and my brother, we one day we was having a conversation about that. Like, if you could smoke with anybody, who would you smoke? We had a nice conversation about that. We're like, you know what? That's a question we should be asking right there.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace. Yep.
I know this. I know next week's supposed to be warmer.
I can't wait.
Because right now,
then we get to go outside and smoke.
Man, that's why I'm smoking the pipe. I don't. Because other than that, it's too cold in the garage, and I don't feel like sitting in the car.
Yeah. I mean, I have a smoking room in here, which I usually smoke, but we're doing this on this on the phone, like the way we're doing it. Sometimes, if I crank it and I smoke, it gets really loud because I have a full ventilation and all that, so you can hear it. So it would distort your whole audio.
Mm. Yeah, we keep it light in the house, but normally, like I said, with summertime, but springtime, I'll be in the garage right now, with the door open.
Nice.
I'll probably be drinking something a little harder than Boulevard, which is actually pretty good beer. Shout out to Kansas City for that one.
Nice.
I found out a lot of stuff about Kansas. Produce good whiskey too.
Kansas, Missouri, there's a lot of good stuff here. I usually, when I do it, I do like either one of these.
Oh yeah.
One of those, or like a nice Weller.
Oh yeah, we got.
So
let me tell you how lucky you is.
Yeah.
That Weller on the East Coast, that bottle of Weller on the East Coast is $120.
No kidding.
No shit. When
Oh
I
my
came in, I
God.
saw the price. I said, "Oh my goodness."
And you won't believe it, bro. This is actually from a good friend of mine. He surprised me. He came here one day. He needed something. I helped him out, and he said, I'll be back in a couple of days. Came back with a couple of days and brought me that too. I was like, you don't have to do that, bro. So it's a nice gift.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with good.
Yeah.
But always thank your friends with good. Stop being cheap and thank your friends with good whiskey.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Well, I
If
mean,
I'm moving
it's
out, give me
nice to
peace.
have good friends that you can bounce things back and forth. So yeah,
Hey,
that's nice.
if I help you move, don't give me pizza. Give me a bottle. If you give me pizza, I'm never helping you move again.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's right.
Say, here you go. I'm like, you know what? I'll help you next time. If you give me pizza,
That's funny.
I'm gonna be busy that day.
Yeah.
Pizza's such a kid gift. But no, I said it was just crazy when we saw the prices here because my buddy, because even the fifth, Willet pot still there was like 60, $70. So I
Wow.
came here, and then my buddy came down from Chicago. He's like, "That's the price." He's like, "Dude, I was able to buy 2 bottles for $70." He's like, "I'd have got one of these maybe for 70."
Wow.
Y'all, I'm like, hey. Then, like I said, I've been trying a lot of Kansas City stuff, so I'm gonna get acclimated to this Kansas life. You know,
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, I'm just appreciative no matter what. Even if it was a $20 bottle, I would be very appreciative just the fact that, he gave it to me. But now that I know that, I'm like, man, that's even a better gift. Thank you.
that Weller is not cheap anywhere else but here.
That's
Weller,
crazy.
none of it.
I
Even
actually like Willet
rye,
too. I like that one
$29.
too. Yeah. Yeah, I like the Weller by itself. I like Willet like in an old fashioned.
But yeah, I discovered that this New Year's. Yeah, that's really good in the old fashioned.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's really good. That Jefferson's, the regular Jefferson is pretty good in the old fashioned too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what do you got? So what are you going to PCA?
Yes.
What are your plans? Like where do you see your business this time next year? Where would you like to see your business this time next year?
This time next year, I would like to be in probably about 30 different states minimum. So I want to make sure we're expanding out to many different areas. That's for sure. And let's say 200, 250 different stores.
That ain't hard to do.
So I think, the goal is to minimals be there as far as that growth goes. Obviously there's a lot more things that we know we would want for the company and the back end and everything else and things like that. But just to simplify things, let's just say more states and 250 plus stores.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you a question. I ask a lot of people too. What do you think is the most underrated cigar city?
Ah, Cigar City.
Yeah, where they smoke, but a lot of people be like, wouldn't know it.
When you say Cigar City, what do you mean? Like a place that they make
It's a
cigars,
lot of
they smoke
lounges, a
cigars?
lot of activities there for smokers, but a lot of people wouldn't know it.
Shoot, I mean, I would think probably Kansas is going to be one of them.
I ain't gonna lie, I'll give y'all that because I never knew Kansas had that many lounges, honestly.
Yeah, Kansas got to be very, very like subtle when it comes to it, and there's a couple people who are really trying to get the information out and bring a lot of people from all over the place in. But yeah, I think it's underrated. I think Kansas City has a very strong cigar community, and it's growing and growing, and it needs to be heard. So yeah, I think Kansas City.
Yeah, I get that. 'Cause, like I said, I didn't when I got here and I started looking around like, damn, Kansas City got a lot of lounges I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
expect. There's just like when you look just going out in either direction, there's a lot of spread out lounges. I'm like, man, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't like
Yeah,
Overland has
I
a
mean
few
Kansas
lounges I
City,
really want to check out.
Kansas City, Missouri. So both ends, on Kansas side and Missouri side. I think it's kind of like this general area that there's a lot of, things happening in the cigar industry and just a lot of people know about that.
Yeah, they definitely don't. They definitely if y'all in the Kansas area, anywhere near Kansas City, make sure you go to Kansas City. Definitely, it is a.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say it's a lot of places. Like even
Mm-hmm.
over going out toward Overland and all that. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of places. I was like, man, I didn't know they had these many now. It surprised me.
I love it. I love it. I mean, one, because I'm in the industry and it's close. It's close for me, right? So I love seeing that. But I just enjoy that anywhere I go. So I mean, even if I travel somewhere, the first thing I'm doing is I'm Googling where's the closest place and where's the scenery for cigars, and I'm going to either, just to enjoy it, one. And then obviously, my mind is business too. I'm trying to mingle and learn and network, but I'm always trying to figure out everywhere I go, what's the scenery look like?
That's me too. That's me too.
Mhm.
I'll look it up like sitting at the airport trying to figure out where I'm going. I'm like, yeah, let me go
Exactly.
here.
Making the list.
Or if I had a buddy who've been there, I asked my buddies who've been there, like, well, what do you think?
That's
That's what I say.
funny.
The good thing about being having an IG or something like that with the community, you should be like, hey, I'm going to this city. What
Uh-huh.
lounge should I go to? And everybody be like, hey, go to this lounge, go to this lounge, go to this lounge.
That's the beautiful part about social media, using it for those reasons, right?
Yeah,
You can use it for the good.
they'll let you know. Oh yeah, this lounge right here is good. This lounge,
Mm,
eh.
yeah. All the opinions do come in fast.
Yeah, they let you know. Hey, all you lounge
Uh,
owners, people, the customers talking there, y'all.
yeah. That,
I'll say this though, I haven't experienced a bad lounge. I've never experienced a bad lounge. I experienced lounges that didn't have a lot of stuff, but I never
right.
experienced a bad lounge.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you're trying to just be in a safe place. One,
Mm-hmm.
right? You want it to be a safe environment. And two is like it's not too crazy smoky to where you're gonna be blown out from the smoke. And it's like, okay, am I safe? Can I smoke? Do I have a seat? That's all I need. So, but yeah, I agree. I agree. There's so many different lounges that might, like, from the outside be like, man, that doesn't look like a very pleasant place. But once you're in there and you're smoking that nice cigar and, you're just relaxing, doing your own thing, it's enjoyable.
Yeah, and some of the most inviting people. I
Absolutely.
made a bunch of friends just being in the lounge, just started conversation.
That's the best part about this business. You meet so many different cool people from all over the place, all sorts of life. And, that's the best part about this business.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Mhm.
Like I said, it's just you meet different people, different walks of life. I got guys. I went to school in Pittsburgh. I went
Uh-huh.
from Chicago to Pittsburgh. I go to school in Pittsburgh. And I met these
Mhm.
guys at the lounge, and we just hung out all night. Next thing I know, numbers in the phone. We calling each other there every day, and like even now, I'm not there. I hit them up. Hey, what y'all doing?
I love
So
that.
yeah, you meet lifelong friends out there.
I love that.
All right. So before we get up out of here, we're gonna ask you, um, what's you go ahead and plug, let everybody know where they can meet you at.
So yeah, anything on the social media. So Imami Cigars, just search on either IG, Facebook, my personal one, Amin Emami on Facebook or IG. Definitely, I can reach me on those. The website has it as well. If you need to get on the website, imamicigars.com. And I usually tend to answer a lot of the IG comments, or not comments, mainly like if you're messaging in, I see them. So if it's something that you want to get a hold of me personally, and usually do that, you'll probably get a hold of me.
Do you have any cutting lights coming up or any events coming up before PCA?
We do. I'm trying to remember on top of my head. I don't know. I have a calendar for that. So you put me on the spot for that. But I believe we have an event. Speaking of right now, it's a monthly deal that we did with Cigar and Tobacco in Overland Park. So if you're from this region, Cigar and Tobacco, they have a deal right now to where you buy 3 Mommy cigars, you get a free cigar. And that's all the way good till the end of the month. And then after that, I guess we're March, April. Nope, that's it. Yeah, the one after is going to be after we come back from PCA, and that's going to be a big one over at Churchill's in Topeka.
Oh yeah, I gotta get
the multi-vendor one.
I'm glad you said that. I gotta get tickets for that event. I'm glad you said that.
Yes. So that's going to be a huge one. We'll be there. And then after that, there will be much many different ones lined up. I believe we have another one lined up. I can't remember which one, what date it is. I need to go back and look. But we have one lined up for Ash and Anvil I was telling you about in Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a feeling that one's a little bit far out. He just wanted to make sure we book it so we don't lose it, both of us.
Mm.
I don't remember the date on that one.
I would definitely I definitely want to go to that church. I'm glad you said that. I gotta go get my tickets. I definitely want to be there.
Yes, yeah, because they're limited. You know, they have the 2 different. I think there's general and there's VIP.
Even if I get the general, I want the VIP, but even if I get the general admission, it totally skipped my mind.
Yeah, well, you get a lot more free stuff if you get the VIP.
I got to drive. But that's the thing. I was trying to get on. You got to drive up there, though. I wanted to get it online. Like, can you get it online? I was like, I got to go up there.
Oh, that's right. They don't do online. You have to go in and do that.
Yeah.
You're kind of close by, right? You can just drive around there.
30 minutes. I'll go up there.
That's good, man. Come on, make it a trip. Yeah, go out there and just chill. Go with a couple buddies and say, hey, let's go smoke out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up there. I gotta get them tickets. I definitely gotta be there.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, so everybody go online, get the cigars, man. Just get the cigars. I'm ready to get up out of here. As always, I'm your local hero, reminding you blow your smoke like a goddamn gentleman and gentlewoman. We out.
What's up, everybody? It's your local hero. Thank you for watching the video. I want you to like, share, subscribe. Catch us on YouTube, right here on YouTube. Make sure you catch us on YouTube. I want you to catch us on Facebook, Cigar Lounge Podcast, Rumble, Cigar Lounge Podcast, Spotify, Cigar Lounge Podcast, Anchor FM, Cigar Lounge Podcast, TikTok, Cigar Lounge Podcast. I want you to catch us on IG. You can catch us under the Gentleman or Cigar Lounge Podcast. Either one of those works. So go ahead. Thank you guys for liking the video. I hope you liked the video. And follow us on all our social media sites. We everywhere you get your shit from.